Hello, mystery fans. Well, our look at season 2 of Veronica Mars now continues on with Rashard and Wallace Go to White Castle. So, let's take a look at it. Veronica talks to Wallace at Java the Hutt. Wallace is going to turn Rashard Rucker in for hit and run. Keith distracts Inga in order to break into the police station evidence room. The next day, Wallace has unexpectedly had no backlash from snitching on Rashard. Weevil talks to Molly Fitzpatrick, who admits to dating Felix but insists that he wasn't working for the Fitzpatricks. Nathan Woods contacts Wallace to say that the newspaper says that Rashard came forward and told the press that Wallace was driving during the hit and run, indicating that the journalist for the last episode was not what he said he was. Veronica discusses the fall with Wallace before Jackie comes up, and Wallace is dismissive. Veronica contacts Cliff, who advocates for Wallace. In order to get Wallace to see Rashard, they decide to go to a dinner at UCLA, which Rashard will be attending. Veronica informs Keith about Terrence Cook's gambling problem. Weevil talks to Logan about a church at which one of the Fitzpatricks is a priest. As Weevil is leaving, another PCH biker sees him. Veronica picks up Rashard in a fake limousine, and Rashard's uncle warns him about these sorts of situations. When they pull up to Wallace, Rashard's uncle threatens Wallace and the limo driver. Later, Wallace remembers that a drive-thru person saw Rashard at the wheel that night. At Java the Hutt, Weevil and Logan ask Veronica to bug the confessional at the church. Veronica says she'll bug video, but no sound. Keith listens to bus crash interrogation tapes. Referencing the dead rat on the bus, Keith offers that Veronica was not the target of the bus crash. Wallace fails to track down the drive-thru guy, who has disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Veronica bugs the confessional before being questioned by Father Fitzpatrick. Wallace goes to a fraternity party and talks to Rashard, who threatens him abrasively. On his way out, Wallace sees Jackie talking to Rashard. In retaliation, Rashard gets some of his cronies to lock Wallace in a closet. Veronica waits in the car anxiously and sees Jackie driving off with Rashard. Ooh, boy. After getting out of the closet, Wallace finds Rashard's uncle, who didn't know that Rashard left. Wallace directs the uncle to a club, which Veronica sneaks into and steals the uncle's phone. Veronica watches the confessional tape and finds that Thumper snuck drugs out of the confessional. It turns out Wallace and Veronica were actually using Jackie to catch Rashard off guard. That day, a girl walks up to Wallace and asks if their date is still on, which he accepts. Weevil confronts the bikers, and they were actually all working for the Fitzpatricks. Thumper reveals that Weevil was in cahoots with Logan, and the bikers mutiny against him, beat him up, and leave him. Nathan Woods goes to the home of the drive-thru guy, Brody, and confronts him about accepting money for his silence. Rashard has successfully subverted Rashard and his uncle. Keith listens to more tapes, and they learn from the news that Sheriff Lamb is taking Terrence Cook in for questioning related to the bus crash. Interesting. So anyway, let's take out some cultural references that are made in this episode. Veronica compares Rashard to LeBron James. Keith is reading Those Who Trespass and listening to a Bad Company album. Veronica references Steve McQueen. Veronica jokingly mentions a funny thing happened on the way to the forum. And now let's take a look at the arc significance surrounding this episode. Keith steals the interrogation tapes from the bus crash investigation. Dick and Cassidy reveal to Sheriff Lamb that their father knew Curly Moran as a mechanic. Dick also tells him that the bus smelled bad, which is why he got a limo. Gia Goodman tells Lamb that her father, Woody, told her not to ride the bus. Keith speculates to Veronica that the dead ride was there so that the 09ers wouldn't go back on the bus. Thus the only casualties would be lower and middle class students. Veronica still thinks it was targeted to her. Veronica bugs the confessional of Father Fitzpatrick's church and shows the video to Weevil. It shows Thumper, one of the PCHers, taking drugs that Liam Fitzpatrick left behind. Weevil confronts Thumper, but Thumper has organized a coup against Weevil. Hector's brother works at the Neptune Grand and saw Weevil come out of Logan's room. The PCHers meet a Weevil, and Thumper tells Hector to throw Weevil's motorcycle into the ocean. Rude. Veronica finds a picture of Terrence Cook and Miss Dumas, the late journalism teacher, together. Lamb questions Terrence Cook in relation to the bus crash. And now on to the music heard in this episode. All of Love by Air Supply, Veronica by Elvis Costello, sung by Britt Daniel Spoon, Shine More by Nami Amoro, Si Sun by Scavone, Joan Brown by House of Pain, and I Summon You by Spoon. And now finally onto the production of this episode. The episode was written by John Enbaum and directed by John T. Kretschmer, marking Enbaum's 7th writing credit and Kretschmer's 7th directing credit. Teddy Dung continues to be credited, despite his final regular appearance in Donut Run. In this episode, Jackie Cook makes her reappearance after a 7-episode absence. The episode's title refers to Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. The episode features a cameo by Britt Daniel, the frontman of Spoon, who sings Veronica as the karaoke song. Several songs by Spoon have been featured on the show previously. Chris Williams returns as Nathan Woods in the episode as well. So overall, this is a very unique and somewhat enjoyable episode, and, well, the fact that Weevil gets Munion on is kind of harsh, so, yeah. So, overall, I give Rashard and Wallace Go to White Castle 4 marshmallows out of 5. Well, tune tomorrow as we take a look at Ain't No Magic Mountain High Enough. So, until then, remember everyone, the game's afoot.